get asked all the time as a spiritual teacher is, can you have anything you want? You know, we teach at Agape, we teach in religious science that you are the creator of your life and that there is a power in you that you are using all the time. And you can direct that power into any possibility and create an experience you want. So a lot of times people want to know, can I have anything I want? And so the question that I come back to is, what can you believe? Because we talk about the law of belief. It's the law of cause and effect. It's what the great master teacher Jesus talked about. He said, it is done unto you as you believe. He actually gave us the key. So if you talk about what can you believe, and let me define believe again for you. To believe is a belief is all of your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings aligned toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, consciously and unconsciously. Can you build a belief of being a millionaire so that all of your thoughts are about wealth? All of your words are about wealth. All of your feelings are about wealth. All of your actions are toward wealth. Can you do that so it becomes the very nature of who you are? When you're sleeping, it's your nature. It's just a habit for you. Because what happens for us is that our beliefs become our habits. And those habits create our experience. You see, so it's then if you ask what you can believe, then you've got to ask the question, can I? And here's what we say in religious science. You have a right to attain anything as long as it doesn't hurt yourself or someone else. Because this life that we're leading is a life of expansion. It's a life about greater and greater experience. It's a life about becoming more aware. The more aware you become, obviously, you're not going to do things to hurt yourself. The more aware you become, you realize that we're all one. You're not going to do anything to hurt anyone else. So we throw that caveat out there that you have the right to attain anything as long as it doesn't hurt you or anyone else. You see, Ernest Holmes said, your ability to control your experiences and have them result in happiness, prosperity, and success lies in your own mind and how you use it. It's not what other people think about you. It's not having someone to do things for you. It's in your own ability to use the power in you. This is one of the things that people come to me as a minister, as a spiritual teacher, as a coach, and ask me, what should I do? I never tell them what to do. I ask them questions, because what I've learned is that nobody knows your answers but you. Nobody is invested in your life the way you are invested in your life. No one has your well-being in mind more than you do. Ergo, the power and the wisdom to change your life is always in you. And that's what we wake up to. That's our job, is to become aware of that. You see, you control your experience, not what happens to you. You may control a lot of the things that happen to you, but there are things that are going to happen to you that you have no control over. You're living on a planet with 7.8 billion other people. You're living on a planet with animals and insects and plants and weather and earth. All of these things are happening. You can't control all that, but you can control your experience, which is what? Your beliefs about life, your beliefs about things. It's actually your perceptions, and your perceptions come from your beliefs. You control your experiences because your thought controls the experience. You control your experience because you, and only you, have the power to direct where you place your thought. Quantum physics says that everything exists all at the same time, everywhere in the quantum field. And what you experience is where you focus in the quantum field. You can actually take this differently. You can take it down a path that everything that could ever happen has already happened in the infinite. And that's why there's only the now. So, if you look at your life and you say, I married my wife, I'll use myself as, I married Jean. And everything that happened to me led me to making the decision to marry Jean. Well, what would happen if I had, before Jean, asked to marry so-and-so? That experience has already been created in the infinite. I just chose not to have it. The experience of me getting divorced has already been created in the infinite. I've just chosen not to have it. The best way I can say this in this respect is that think about a video game. Every possibility has been programmed into that video game, so as you make choices, you get different responses, different results. I believe that's the same thing in life. I believe that life is an infinite field of possibility, and our choices allow us to have different experiences, and no two people ever follow the same path. You see, the key to beginning to use your power is that you have to have an open mind. If your mind is not open, you're not going to see the new opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. You're only going to see what you've already known. You have to have an open mind. I asked that question of anyone that I'm doing coaching with or counseling with or I'm teaching a class. I said, are you willing to be open to see new things? Because if you're not open to see new things, you won't see them even though they're right in front of your face. Before you can use your creative power effectively, it's got to make sense. It's got to be practical, and you must be able to prove it. That's really a key thing. Anything that I teach, I ask my students, prove it for yourself. Right now I'm teaching a class on the power of the subconscious mind based on the book by Joseph Murphy. And I ask my students to pick one thing in their life that they want to demonstrate, and let's apply that to it. And let's see if in the next 6 weeks we can make that a reality. Because when the student takes a theory and uses it and proves it to work, it's not my theory, it's now theirs. They own it because they've proven it to themselves. One of the things I've come to understand is that you have practical needs that must be met, intellectual demands that seek rational fulfillment, and spiritual longings that need to be fulfilled. You are the only one who has the power to create those experiences. You see, everything that you desire or needs that you have to be met require you to become a specific energy frequency that matches the intended result. You tune your frequency with your mind. Think about this. If you're living in a harmonious, expansive relationship, there's a frequency. You have to become the frequency. To be a wealthy individual, you have to become the frequency. To be an entrepreneur, you have to become the frequency. There's a frequency in which your body functions in perfect health. It's called homeostasis. You have to become that frequency. When you become that frequency, the energy that you are dials into that and has that experience. Because let's just look at it real simply. Everything is energy. Everything. The rock, the cloud, the air, everything. Thoughts, words, feelings, they're all energy. All of it operating at a frequency. Everything different. You have the ability, because of how you were created, to tune that frequency. You see, it's not what you do that gets your results, but rather how you do it. Do you know there is a power in you that creates? And are you using that power with a joyful expectancy? Are you doing it to create a more expansive and fulfilling life? And if you're doing it to get a more expansive, fulfilling life, think about how you do it. You do it with zest, you do it with juice, you do it with feeling. You see, it's your frequency that attracts to you. And your mind, through your beliefs, controls the frequency that you emanate. Your frequency attracts to you. And your mind, through your beliefs that it creates, controls the frequency you emanate. What I want to say to you is, stop looking outside yourself. You are the power. You have the ability to make anything a reality in your life. The question you got to ask, can I believe I can? Can I believe it's possible? Here's the final question. Do I believe I'm worth it? Without self-worth, we can experience nothing greater. Our job is to fully realize that self-worth and be the creator and attract the most magnificent life we could imagine. Remember, that power is in